Myself Mansi Bakshet. My topic on today is for training and development and employee relations. Based on my experience at Hewlett Packard, I was into training and development role. So, on whatever my understanding in my career until now, I'll be just explaining on how much ever I know until now. So, coming on to the stages of the training and development, basically training starts from the first step, that is assessment of the needs. Next is the implementation of the training, and then is the evaluation. Moving on to the first part, assessment of the needs. What does this say is understanding the organization goals and objectives, the jobs and the related tasks that needs to be trained, as well as the competences and skills that are needed to perform these jobs and individuals who are to be trained. Now just giving an overall idea on this, when I was working at HP, assessment of the needs actually started from interacting with the business units heads, the department heads, trying to understand if the training is really needed. Then trying to understand what are the organizational objectives, will the training be helpful to the organization, what are the costs involved in the training, and will it be of any improvement if the training is undertaken, and will it be of any help to the employees to upgrade their skills and competencies. So this is all which is there in the assessment of the needs. Once we have a clear understanding that yes, the training is needed, what are the benefits of the training, we move on to the next step, implementation. So what is this implementation? In implementation, we actually perform the training. So there are various types of trainings. I was in the virtual training department, wherein we used to conduct online trainings for the whole global HP employees. Moving on to the rest of the training measures. One is the lectures, which is the physical training. Physical training, there is a predetermined venue location wherein the trainers and the trainees assemble there and the training is conducted. The next part is the simulation. Simulation is the similar environment is created like the way you have it in the normal trainings, and hence the training is carried over there. Next two are the case studies and the role plays, whereas the case studies are given to the trainees and they are asked to analyze based on the situations. Role plays is creating a normal environment, normal situations, and they are asked to act based on whatever situation is being given to them. So these are the types of off-the-job training. Moving into the next on-the-job training methods, more specifically we have it as coaching and mentoring by the trainers or the other department heads. And the next is the job rotation. Example, a person is shifted from his department to the other relevant department, wherein he can learn how is everything conducted and how is everything works out in the other department. So this is how the various types of trainings are available in the companies. Now moving on to the evaluation. Obviously, whenever you have conducted a training without an evaluation, that doesn't help. So obviously you have to see what is the feedback from the training. Whether the training has actually helped the trainees, it has actually helped the organization in some way or the other. Because obviously you can't conduct any training just for the sake of just like that. You'll have to conduct a training just to see if that has benefited in some way to the trainees as well as to the organization. Now, there are three stages again in this, which is before the training, during the training and after the training. Before the training, you can see like if the training was really needed, how was the department working before. During the training, how was the training process going on? The feedback from the trainers if he has any complaints regarding the slides, any training this thing, or from the trainees. And lastly, the feedback from the trainees, that is if they have any complaints from the trainer, or if any schedule or even if the content of the training as like that. And the last part is the after the training. After the training is successfully completed, you need to again have a feedback after that, whether the training really helped the trainers and the trainees and whether they are satisfied with the whole training which was conducted. So this is how the entire shelf of training and development works about in the organization. This is as per whatever I have understood when I was working with my Hewlett Packard organization during my tenure over there. Moving on to the next part in HR, employee relations, which is one of the very important part in any companies. Unless and until the employees are satisfied and happy, they won't give their best in the organizations. So employee relations is very integral part in all the organizations. To maintain a healthy employee relations, there are various steps which are to be followed. Firstly, in order to ensure that there is an effective communication to all the employees, there is a communication to the employees, so it has to be ensured that it is passed to all the employees in the organization. Secondly, what there has to be is a written modes of communication. In order to have a better transparency, a written modes of communication has to be circulated among all the employees. Next is encourage the employees. This is one of the important parts wherein you encourage the employees to share their ideas, their initiatives. This is the reason why they get excited to work in the company. They feel their award, their work and all is being appreciated. So this is one of the integral parts again, wherein you encourage the employees to share their initiatives and ideas also as well. Next is the open door policy. What is meant by the open door policy is that any concern or any grievance the employee has, the doors should be always open. They should always know whom to go and talk to the upper level, so that if they have any grievances or any concerns, they can openly discuss with the upper heads. This is very important again, because finally the employee is like comfortable within the company and he feels like working over there. Next is, these are some of the minor things which they can actually do in order to enhance more employee relations. Organize the birthday parties, any events in the company, so that you can involve all the employees over there. Also for the employees, you can ask them to decorate their own workspaces, anything in the organization, if there are any events and all, ask them, motivate them to again get involved in all that. So this nothing but helps in a better employee involvement towards the organization. Last is the rewards and recognition. Now rewards and recognition is, suppose an employee is contributing a lot for the organization. If he is being rewarded in an equal way, that's saying that yes, his work is being appreciated by the company, he will be enthusiastic, he will be motivated to work for the company again. So what I am saying is, rewards and recognition is very integral and the most important aspect in any organization, because whatever extra work the employee has done, if he needs a recognition, that has to be given to an employee, so that he will be motivated to work for the company in the long run also as well. Well, this is all on my topic on employee relations and training and development. Thank you.